If you're thinking about moving to Los Angeles or even just switching neighborhoods, this story's for you. I thought I nailed it when I first moved to LA. Sunshine, views, the whole dream. But then I made one move that completely threw me off, and it took me 18 months to realize I'd chosen the wrong neighborhood. I'm gonna share exactly what happened and how you can avoid making the same mistake. So imagine waking up in the hills of Los Angeles, birds chirping in the trees all around you, the white letters of the world-famous Hollywood sign blazing in the early morning sun above you. That's a dream a lot of us have when we think about living in Los Angeles. It's also been the reality for me for many years, a reality I actually stumbled into by accident. More on that coming up. But I also spent a year and a half in a completely different reality when I moved again in what turned out to be a major misstep. One I don't want you to make yourself. If you're new here, my name is Tony and I make videos about living in Los Angeles. I'm also a real estate broker who can answer your questions about all things LA. All right, let's go. My LA story starts in 2001 when I found myself at a crossroads. I'd been working in the tech industry and the tech bubble had just burst. The once thriving startups of Silicon Valley were fading. And I'd lived in San Francisco proper, surrounded by the foggy chill of the Bay. And I also grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so I was no stranger to gray skies and rain. But deep down, I knew I wanted something different. And what I found in LA wasn't just different, it was surprising in ways most newcomers never expect. I've always joked that San Francisco is halfway between Seattle and Los Angeles, both geographically and weather-wise. SF has more sun than Seattle, but lacks the warmth and brightness of LA. And if you're anything like me, overcast skies are more than just a minor inconvenience. They affect my energy and outlook on life. So I made a bold decision. I moved to Los Angeles, chasing that full Southern California sunshine I had seen on TV as a kid. And I thought to myself, this is it. The land of endless summer awaits. Little did I know, my journey was just beginning. I got really lucky when I moved to LA. I knew a little bit about the different areas of town from my time working in tech. LA was my sales territory when I lived in San Francisco, so I was here quite often. But LA is massive, and most of my time here was spent in meetings, either in a conference room or at a restaurant, not really having the time to go around and explore really deeply. What I didn't really appreciate at the time was that the neighborhoods, the culture, and even the weather itself changes every few miles, sometimes even blocks. So how do you decide where in this vast city you truly belong? Later in this video, I'll break down the key factors that help me figure that out and how they might help you too. So without knowing a lot about the different areas when I moved, a friend of mine from the Pacific Northwest who was already living here recommended checking out Beechwood Canyon and the Hollywood Hills. I got lucky. I found a place right away, and that's where I wound up. And like I mentioned at the top of this video, finding an awesome neighborhood was pure luck. So settling into the Hollywood Hills was like stepping into a dream. My neighborhood was vibrant, and the opportunities seemed endless. I spent my mornings hiking and biking through Griffith Park, soaking in the panoramic views of the city, and evenings were filled with music at the Hollywood Bowl or exploring eclectic nightlife in Hollywood, way before it was gentrified. I remember the feeling of the sun warming my face one morning as I stood on an overlook in Griffith Park. The city sprawled out below. The scent of jasmine was in the air, and the distant hum of morning commuter traffic mixed with the birdsong. It was electric. This was the LA I'd always imagined. I really got to know the Santa Monica Mountains from Los Feliz to Bel Air inside and out. This became a tremendous asset later when I transitioned to real estate in 2017, and my very first home sale was a $3 million home in Outpost Estates. And that all happened because I was able to suggest neighborhoods that aligned with my client's lifestyle. Actually, I can do the same for you if you'd like to connect, so feel free to reach out anytime. But let's get back to the timeline. From 2001 to 2008, I lived in the hills and commuted to work just like a lot of Angelinos. I took the 101 to Woodland Hills and back every day, about an hour each direction. In 2008, life threw me a curveball. The company I was working for was acquired by Viacom, and suddenly I was expected to work from their offices in Santa Monica. The commute from Hollywood Hills to Santa Monica, I just didn't want to do. No thanks. That was way too much to handle. The commute could stack up to 90 minutes each direction, which is more than I wanted to deal with. So I faced a dilemma. Do I endure hours of traffic every day, or do I uproot my life and move closer to work? I thought about it long and hard. The idea of living near the beach had its allure. I mean, isn't that the quintessential LA experience? Embracing the opportunity, I moved to Venice Beach. I was excited to dive into a new chapter, convinced that living by the ocean would be the pinnacle of my LA adventure. At first, Venice was everything I hoped for. Mornings were spent running along the Strand. I loved the ocean breeze. I liked the bohemian vibe of Venice. And I also liked cycling to Manhattan Beach on the weekends and hanging with friends who lived there. I got to know the West Side neighborhoods and hiking trails in Malibu, Brentwood, and my favorite, Temescal Canyon in Pacific Palisades. Nights were lively too. I loved leaving my car in the garage and instead riding my beach cruiser, meeting up with friends at local pubs. But then something unexpected happened again. So after about 18 months of coastal living, I noticed a shift not just in the weather, but how I felt. Subtle changes quickly turned into a personal wake-up call, maybe the biggest surprise of my LA journey. It started with a few days of persistent fog and overcast skies, the kind that doesn't burn off by midday, but lingers, casting a dull hue over everything. I found myself feeling sluggish, my energy drained. It was as if the gray skies of the Pacific Northwest had followed me south. One afternoon, I sat at my desk, staring blankly at my computer screen. Out of curiosity, I checked the local weather reports. There it was in black and white. Venice Beach, 65 degrees and foggy. Hollywood Hills, 80 degrees and sunny. A 15-degree difference, and all the sunshine that I thought I was missing. In that moment, it hit me. I needed to go back to the Hollywood Hills. The warmer and sunnier climate was calling me home. I realized while the beach had its charm, it wasn't where I thrived. I craved the sun-drenched hills and vibrant energy that had first drawn me to LA. So shortly after that realization, I moved back to the Hollywood Hills, and it felt like a weight had been lifted. The sunshine returned not just to my environment, but to my spirit. I was back hiking in Griffith Park, enjoying outdoor concerts, and feeling more connected than ever. So why am I sharing this story with you? Because choosing where to live in Los Angeles is more than just picking a spot on a map. It's about finding a place that resonates with who you are and how you want to live. Remember when I thought moving to Venice would give me the full LA experience? Well, it actually taught me a valuable lesson. The perfect location isn't one size fits all. It's deeply personal. For some, it can be living in one of the best school districts like South Pasadena, or Palos Verdes, or maybe close to a top private school. For some, it could be a coveted Beverly Hills street address, and for others, it might be living near the action in West Hollywood or downtown. And my point is, find the one thing that really matters to you most and double down on it. There will always be some sort of compromise, I know that, but what I'm saying is prioritize. For me, the priority always was, and always will be, the weather. The east side and central LA offer sunnier skies and hillside views and that iconic LA vibe you see in movies. These are neighborhoods like Hollywood Hills, Silver Lake, and Echo Park, and they're perfect if you love the outdoors, enjoy cultural hotspots, and thrive in warmer weather. And in a second, I'll show you exactly where you can go next to explore those areas in more detail. And then on the other hand, the west side and areas like Venice, Santa Monica, and Malibu bring you closer to the ocean. There's a laid-back beach culture that's hard to resist too. But remember, the coastal fog is real, and the temperatures can be cooler than you might expect. Los Angeles really is a city of endless possibilities. And there's a place here that I know is just right for you. And that's not to say that every neighborhood is perfect. There's just a perfect neighborhood for you. If you're considering a move to LA or thinking about relocating within this incredible city, let's talk. I'd love to help you with any and all of your real estate questions. Just call, text, or email, whether you're moving in 3 days or 3 years. I've shared a lot about the differences between Venice and the Hollywood Hills, the weather, the vibes, the recreation. And guess what? I've got videos for each so that you can take an even closer look and decide for yourself what looks best. If the laid-back beach vibe of the west side sounds appealing, check out this detailed look at Venice. Or if the views from the Santa Monica Mountains and sunnier weather are your thing, be sure to check out this detailed look at the Hollywood Hills. I'm Tony Mariotti. See you in the next video.